Manasi1 is a marketing coach and social media speaker. Manasi is an engineer by education, marketer by choice, and entrepreneur at heart. She helps executives and business owners build their thought leadership online via social media. She is known for bringing analytical ability of an engineer and the creativity of a marketer in her coaching and speaking career. Tonight, we welcome Manasi1. Welcome, thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam President. Before we get started, I want you all to just stand up. I know the place is a little limited here, but let's try it. Stand up. You probably came from a busy day at work. Try to shake it a little. Your necks, your hands, roll your shoulders. Feels good, huh? Just relax. And now those of you who want to do jumping jacks, you can do it. Nobody?
No.
These are not the ones. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's on your fan and do that. That's good. We can do this. That's good. Anything, right? Okay. So now that you're relaxed a little bit, did you just realize what happened here? When I asked you to just stand up, most people just instantly stood up. When I asked you to shake it a little, some people were a little bit hesitant. They were looking at each other. Are people doing it? Or am I the only one who is looking stupid here? And when I asked you to do jumping jacks, it was such a big ask that unless somebody started, nobody did it. Right? And when Serena started it creatively in her space, everybody else thought, oh, this is a norm to do it. So what at first seemed like ridiculous to start seemed like okay to do because of this social approval. So today I'm going to show you how you can create this social approval online. Have a seat now and let's get started. I'm going to share with you how you can create a personal brand online that will get you noticed, hired, and promoted. But let me tell you, this is not a seminar where you are going to learn some quick and easy tips that will get you hired or promoted overnight. That's not what this is about. Because social media, by the nature of it, takes time. Even just between this small exercise, we took at least 1 or 2 minutes to get through the exercise from what we started. And to build that social approval, it took a few seconds. So you can just imagine if you want people to think that you're good at it, and they want you to notice you, you want other people's approval, it is going to take time. It takes years to build a good social persona. But what I'm going to give you today is a blueprint that will be a strong foundation for you, no matter when you want to achieve your results. So you can get started today on this strong foundation and start taking some actions. I'm going to share with you 3 action items that you are going to take within next week that will get you started and will give you good results in your upcoming effort in social media. Okay. So let's get started. In front of you, you have a sheet. That's for you to take notes. As I go through this is going to become your social media strategy. Okay? And that's something you will keep with you, I'm hoping, for the rest of your life, so that you understand what to get done. We have some new guests joining us. Have a seat. Need extra sheets, extra pens. Have a seat here. Sheets, pens. So this is your blueprint for the social media strategy that you will keep with you. For life. I'm hoping for life. No. I'm hoping you keep it intact. Maybe you can laminate it or do whatever you want. Okay, the point here is that whatever we are going to learn today is going to help you for the rest of your social media life, because these are the principles that I have selected are not going to change. What changes is also the other things that I will talk later. Anyway, so let's get started. The 4-stage blueprint. Number one is the purpose of why we do everything. Why we do anything on social media. What is the purpose of social media? Can anyone Anybody tell me what you have in mind?
To network.
To network, that's a good result of doing it.
Attention.
Get attention, that's also a good goal and good network.
Promote yourself.
To what?
Promote yourself.
To promote yourself, that's right. But we cannot do any of this unless we get noticed. And what is the way of getting noticed? By the raise of hands, how many of you, when you came here today, took some time in dressing up, took some time in putting that in your calendar, made some effort to really show up today? Most of you, right? All of you. Why did you do that? Because you thought you are going to have a face-to-face interaction with another human being, and you wanted to put your best foot forward. You wanted people to know that you have taken some efforts to be here and you are interested. Is that right?
Yes.
So imagine if there is a stranger out there, a hiring manager, who is making a decision on hiring you, but they haven't met you. How are they going to come face to face with you? Not until the interview, right? But even before that, what are they going to do?
Check the social
Yeah.
media.
That's right. They are going to check you on Google. They're going to put your name on Google, and what comes up in Google is their first introduction of you. And this was different 5-10 years ago. It's no longer different. Everybody Googles you. Even if you're going to find a client, they're finding somebody to hire, they're finding somebody to recommend, they are going to Google you. So write down as your first point, Google is the God. Google is the God. Why we are doing all this is to get good ranking in Google. When somebody looks up your name, you want them to see who you really are, or at least who you want them to see. Right? So Google is the God. That's why we're doing this. So the first action items in front of that you're going to do today is the start. You're going to check your pulse. You're going to see where you are today in Google. So when you go home today or within the next 24 hours, just open a private browsing session, incognito window. Open it, give your name, full name, first name, last name, and see what comes up there. And I assure you, you will be surprised, positively or negatively. You will see some things that you would not want to see. You will see some things that will tell you, oh, this is not really who I am. I don't want them to see about this about me, but something else. Right? So that's your first step. And overall, as you check your progress in social media, you will be doing this every 6 months, every 1 year. And don't get me wrong, this is not narcissism. This is just being analytical. This is just understanding where you stand today and in every step of the way while creating your personal brand. So what are you going to do today? Within 24 hours, you are going to?
Google yourself.
That's right, Google yourself. Make sure you do it in a private window, private browsing session. That way, it's not influenced by what you already see. Okay? So Google yourself and see what comes up. There is a chance that there is somebody who has the same name as you and all their information comes up, nothing about you comes up. So when you apply for a job and you're a salesman, but there's the same name and who is a doctor comes up, nobody's going to take an effort to go through the 2 or 3 pages of Google to find out who this salesman is. Right? So your goal here is to make sure that when somebody Googles you, you put your best foot forward. And you want them, they see what you want them to see. That's why we are creating this social brand. So number 1, Google is the God. That's right. And you're going to find out where you stand in the eyes of that God this evening or later in 24 hours. Now number 2, what is it that you should be portraying? What should be your brand online? You should have 2 different kinds of personalities. Number 1 is what you want to be recognized as a professional. That's where the competency comes in. The competency part is, I want to be a good salesman, and that's what I want the world to recognize me as. I want to be a good engineer, and I want people to recognize me as good engineer. So what is it that you want the world to be seeing you as professionally? That's your competency part. But then is that enough? How many times do you think that somebody at maybe a hiring position or a promotion, how many people are up there who probably have the same skills as you. They're applied to the same position as you, so there is a high chance, right? Right?
Yes.
So how do you differentiate yourself? That's where the second part comes in. The second part is the one that defines you as a person. So what is it that you do that makes you interesting? So you want to be an interesting writer, interesting sports person, interesting canoe-loving person, interesting skier. Whatever it is that gives you this human face behind that personal brand of professionalism, that's the other side of you. That's the interesting part of you. So no matter what you do in social media, you're never complete unless you put this professional part together with the personality part. So now take 30 seconds here and think in your mind, what is it that you want to be recognized as professionally? Whatever comes to your mind at first, this is going to change later. It's okay to change it too. But what is it that comes to your mind? Take 30 seconds and write down a bunch of things. Where you want to be professionally. Salesperson, engineer, whatever it is. Take 30 seconds. And if you cannot think of what you want to be, think what you are right now. What are you doing professionally? Because that's always the great place to start. So write that in front of the confidence. What do you want to be or who you are right now as a professional? Are you here for social media? Come on in. Have a seat. No, it's okay. Have a seat. You can sit there. Now think about it and write down, go to the next step and write down what makes you interesting. We are at point number 2 in the blueprint. What makes you interesting? Your hobbies, your interests, Toastmasters. What makes you interesting? What makes somebody to say that, oh, this person is so good, I want to meet them in person. I want to have lunch with this person. Okay, that's good. Whatever you have, it's really, don't worry too much about it, don't think too much about it, you are going to improve this as you go along. Whatever you have, just get into the groups of maybe 2 people, maybe 3 people, and share with each other what makes you competent and what makes you interesting. Get in the groups, maybe just like 3-4 people right here, 3-4 people right here. Just quickly, stand up.